Alright, well, my sister asked me to start doing videos on the things that I cook so she can learn how to cook. So I have 16 apples that are not all very good. And I just soak them in some cleanser. I like to use it for just about everything, and it is all organic and safe. Now, this video is not sponsored by anybody, and so my opinions on the cleaners and the things that I use, or the products I use and everything, they're all my opinions. I'm not getting paid to say anything. Do your own research to find out, for yourself if these are things that you'd be interested in using or anything like that. But I have 16 apples here. I've sprayed them down with the cleaner. I just rinsed them off. Realized, oh, I got to do this video for my sister. So now I'm going to peel them. Then I'm going to core them. Then I will put some of them in the 8x8 pan. And I've got some apple crisp mix that I got from the store. It's just an apple crisp mix. And so this apple crisp mix, I got the crumbs already mixed up. Because you gotta wait for your butter to soften before you can mix it in with the crumbs, I guess. So I already got that mixed up, and I'm going to bake that 8x8 sheet of apples for apple crisp in the oven at 375. And I already made one, and it took twice as long to cook it. So where this says 20 to 30 minutes, I cooked the first one for 50 minutes, I think, because I put it in for 25, then 5, and then 30, so 55 minutes. So almost an hour. But that's when it was actually done. So the rest of the apples that don't go in the 8x8, I have a second 8x8 that I'm going to bake them as well without apple crisp. And I'm going to serve them to my dogs for one of their dinners. So I'll go ahead and start peeling these. I have a bowl to save the peels. And I'm sure you're going to ask, why are you saving peels? Well, if you watched any of my other channels or any of my other videos, you know that I have worms. And so apple peels are part of the compost. And I can use the apple peels for compost. And this is a wonky peeler, so I know you're going to ask me, why are you peeling it like this? Well, this is a wonky peeler. I tried to use the other one the other day. It didn't work. It was so crappy. I was disappointed. And I don't even see it up here now. So I don't even know where I'd put it. Put it in a pile to give it away, because it didn't work for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel all of these apples. Save the peels. Scoop out the icky part, because you can still use it. And since I don't, oh, here it is. It is up here. I'm just going to use this one that doesn't work for me to scoop out that rotten part that's soft. You don't want to eat that part. It's pretty icky. So I'm just going to, like I said, peel these, and then I will core them. And after I'm done coring them, then I will go ahead and put them in the pan. I do not grease my pans. It doesn't say you have to. And because I'm going to be giving some of them to the dogs, I'm not going to grease the pans anyways, because I don't give my dogs grease. And I give them specific kinds of grease and oils. Like I said, I'm very picky at what I give my dogs. I do a lot of research before I start doing it, giving anything to my dogs. So that's what we're going to do. I'll go ahead and finish peeling all of these. And then I'll come back and show you how I core them and what I do with the cores. And then I'll show you how I'm going to slap them in the oven and bake them. And then after a while, if nobody calls me, then I'll come back and resume the video and show you how I'm going to bake them and how they turn out. Alright, so I'll be back in a flash with all these apples peeled. Mental reminder, I was just saying I was using this wrong. So for everybody who is watching this, when you use a peeler, especially a apple peeler, potato peeler, you never peel towards yourself. I do it backwards. You're supposed to peel away from yourself so that way you don't hurt yourself. So when you're watching and you're learning, kind of try and be safe about it. And I'm just stubborn and so used to doing things my way and I'm safe too. I mean, I've never cut myself with a peeler before. Not saying that it's not possible, but that's pretty much why I'm saying peel away from yourself, not towards yourself. All right, 10 minutes and 2 bowls of apple peel later, all the apples are peeled. So now, got the handy dandy apple core, and over here I have the 2 8x8s. There's what it looks like from yesterday. So we're going to start coring the apples right here on the cutting board. We're going to put the core in with the apple peels for now, and then I'll get the garbage can and throw them in there later because I don't want to touch the garbage while I'm handling food. Okay, and just so you know, here's the recipe. The recipe calls for 6 to 8 medium to large cooking apples, about 2.5 pounds. And like I said, I have 16 there. I'm not using them all for the apple crisp. So don't use 16 apples for this recipe. All right. So let's see if I can stick you somewhere where you can see me core the apple. All right. This is going to be really iffy, but here we go. All right. So we got the handy dandy core. There's the stem of the apple. We're going to put the core around the stem of the apple. Use the handles and just push down. Now, some people use a knife, and I could use a knife, but I'm not. I'm using this fancy tool because it's available. Alrighty. Now, sometimes, like this one was a wonky apple, and so one piece still had some seeds in it. I gotta push this core back out into the garbage pail there. And then I'm just going to use the peeler I really don't like and use it as a knife and just cut that core out. Because you don't want core and seeds in with your apple crisp. And when you're feeding it to the dogs cannot have the core or the seeds. They cannot digest it, and it will make their bellies upset. But they can, however, have the apple. So, let's go ahead and carry on with a couple more of these apples. This part's usually the easy part, is coring them, especially with this little tool. You will notice that some of these apples have a brown tinge to them. It's because it took so long for me to cut them and peel them. So, and there's so many of them that, yeah, You see, they're a little bit brown. It's okay. So I'm just going to core these apples, fill up one pan, and then fill up the other pan. Some of these apples are bigger than others, so I'll probably be able to fill this one pan a lot faster than you think. So I'll finish coring these and come back to you and show you what they look like in the pan before I put the crust on them. Okay, so we cleaned up a little bit. Here are the 2 pans of sliced apples. I'm gonna maybe see, I might have to do, oh, that's not gonna help either. Alright, well, here's the apple crisp crumbs. And I'm gonna put this on the one that we're going to eat and leave the other pan with no apple crisp because the dogs can't have the ingredients in the apple crisp. We're gonna bake these apples. I'm going to bake them for 15 minutes because the last batch, that's what it needed. And then, so right now I'm just going to top the one pan with the apple crisp and wait for the oven to preheat because I didn't do that yet. And we'll go from there. Alright, so there's the one with the apple crisp crumb on it. And it's got to cook until the apples are soft and the top is golden brown like that. Here's the other apples. The oven is now heated. So we're going to stick them in the oven. Just like this. We're putting them on the top shelf. There's the dogs. Stick them on in there. I'm going to set a timer. And I'll come back in 50 minutes. Or if it takes shorter, then I'll let you know. But I'll come back and show you the outcome and how pretty they look. So, see you in a few. Okay, so it has been 55 minutes. And we're going to pull out the apples and show you what they look like. Don't forget to use some sort of hand protection, especially because it's glass. Okay. You don't want to burn yourself. And I have a pot holder just like this for each of these pans on the top of the stove because we have an electric stove and it has a glass top. So you always want to be cautious of those things while you're doing this. So let's flip you around. There's the dog's apples. There's our apple crisp. We're going to grab a fork and see how soft they are. See how soft that is? Mushy, mushy. How about these over here? Oh yeah, nice and soft. Boop. Boop. Alrighty. There you have it. That's how we're making apple crisp. And keeping the heater from turning on because it's cold outside. So running the oven causes heat in the house to keep us warm. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see all kinds of other videos I'm doing, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Remember, you are someone. You do matter. And I love you. Until next time, thank you for watching. And I'll see you again soon. Ciao now.